What no one is telling you about the Flower Mound real estate market right now could cost you, whether you're selling or buying right now, or even this year. There's a lot of noise going on right now, whether it's about prices or rates or the shifting market. So what's really going on here in Flower Mound? Well, I'm Molly Chance, and this is my husband, Bret Chance. We have Texas Home Life Realty, a boutique brokerage right here in Flower Mound. And together, we've sold 120 million in real estate. So we want to bring our knowledge that we've been through many shifting markets, and we want to bring our knowledge to you so that you can navigate this market successfully, whether you're choosing to buy or sell.
In this video, we're going to be breaking down the 4 major changes that are going on in this real estate market, not just nationally, but here locally, here in Flower Mound, and how it is affecting you personally. You're going to be finding out why buyers are acting differently this spring in the spring real estate market, and as a seller, what to watch out for. This way you can position yourself for success through this real estate market.
And if you stay tuned to the end, we're going to share with you how to avoid the biggest and most costly mistake we're seeing sellers in Flower Mound make right now. And we'll even have a free download for you to help you avoid this mistake. So stick around.
Let's go ahead and dive into the Flower Mound numbers. And all these numbers are coming from the MLS, where it's showing the closed out numbers until the month of February. So let's dive into this. The median sales price is at $625,000, which is actually up 10% from February of last year, which that's good. Now, as far as the active listings is up 20%. So that just means more inventory for the buyers to choose from and more competition that sellers are having to go against when selling. Now, as far as the closed sales, that is down 3.6%. So we're seeing just a little bit of slowing down on the closings, but really not much. The inventory is 1.9 months of inventory, meaning that if not another home comes up for sale in Flower Mound, it'll take 1.9 months to sell everything is there. So that's still telling us we are in a seller's market, regardless what it feels like. That's just what the numbers are telling us right now. Now, it's taking 60 days on average to sell a house. The close to list price ratio, that is at 94.7%. So I definitely know that's a lot of numbers.
That is a lot of numbers. And so don't tune out yet, because we're going to explain kind of what this means for you. So just to let you know, we're looking at actual numbers from the MLS. We're not just making this up. But, basically what it means is that, the overall gist is that home prices are rising, closings are slowing down a little bit. The market is shifting in Flower Mound. And I think it's catching a lot of homeowners and sellers off guard right now, and even some real estate agents that have not been through a shifting market. A lot of agents jumped in to get their license during the pandemic. And so that was not any kind of normal market whatsoever. No. And so a lot of agents have not been through a shifting market to understand what's going on. And each time it shifts, honestly, we were discussing this earlier at lunch today. Each time it shifts, it's a little bit different. It feels different, it looks different. And so there are things you have to look at to understand, oh, okay, we're in a shifting market. Here's how we need to adjust. So we're going to talk about that right now today. Well, here are the 4 main changes that are happening right now in the Flower Mound market that no one's really talking about. Now, we hit on one of these a while ago. Let's talk about that 20% more homes on the market.
Yeah, there's definitely 20% more homes on the market right now, even though I know it does not feel like it. It's just right now we're seeing more homes coming on the market under that $500,000 price point. Now, when you start getting into those upper price points, we are starting to see some of them sit longer, but then it comes into, have they been staged? What updates have been done? Also, are they priced correctly? Because the ones that I am seeing, especially in the upper price points, the ones are showing very well, they're priced well, they're not lasting long on the market. So far as, the people that are looking to move up, you've got to be ready to act. So that way, when those homes that are in really great shape, you're able to compete and to be able to get your new home, because they are moving very, very quickly.
They are, and I think the other side of that is because people are wanting to move up in Flower Mound. They're just not finding what they want. There might be a little bit of negotiation room with these homes that have been sitting on the market for a while. So maybe don't be afraid to just make an offer. If you find something that has good bones, may need some updating, may need some paint and some flooring, things like that. Don't be afraid of that. It could be something to consider.
So the second part to this is the home price growth is moderating.
Right. And so what does this mean? People think, oh, I saw on, I think it was Nextdoor or Facebook the other day, oh, the market's crashing, my house is not selling, and all these things. It's like, no, it's not. It does feel weird for people, and I understand that. But as you do some digging, you realize, okay, well, you just said that home prices in Flower Mound are increased by 10% since this time last year. However, what that means is the home price moderating, the growth is moderating, it means it's slowing down. It's still creeping up, but it's slowed down. After we had those crazy pandemic years where we were going up, 20% in home value in a year's time, it feels like we're at a crawl right now, or actually that it feels like we're decreasing. It's just that we're decelerating is what we're doing.
Really, it's going back to more of a balanced, more normal, healthy market, which is a very good thing.
Now, the third thing that not many people are talking about is the fact that mortgage interest rates are actually stabilizing, and they've dropped since the first of this year. I mean, you've talked to two different lenders here recently that really surprised me even.
Yeah, that they're able to lock in some of their clients in the 5% range because there's so many different things that go into somebody's interest rate that only a mortgage lender can figure out. You just can't trust an online calculator because they're not looking at those major factors. So their interest rates are definitely coming down and stabilizing, which is a very good thing in the housing market because it's taking that hesitancy or that fear away from the buyer of wondering, can I afford this, or what's interest rate going to do? So by having stabilized, it's going to bring a lot more stability into the housing market.
Yes. Now, some people I think are still kind of waiting on the fence going, well, we think the rates are going to still continue to come down. So far this year, they haven't done those deep drops like people were expecting. Well, they weren't ever really expecting them. I think the public was more expecting them than the experts were saying. They said they would modestly come down, which they have. I don't see it dropping significantly this year based on what we're seeing. It would create not a great market if
We'd be going right back to a COVID market,
right.
and the home prices would be accelerating, costing everybody a lot more money in the long run versus going ahead and just doing a slow and steady decrease with it.
Right. So if what he's saying is if they jump down into say the 4s or 5s, even so many people would jump into the market that are waiting for those rates that it would drive up those prices on homes again. And here we would have the same effect. So we really don't even want that. But, it's good to see that they are steadily decreasing. I just don't see if people are waiting until that big drop. I don't see that happening anytime soon. Now, because we are seeing mortgage interest rates start declining a little bit, we are seeing more homes come on the market. Everything seems to be stabilizing a bit. We are seeing more buyers come back into the market. So, they are feeling more confident about stepping back in. And we're seeing that with the Mortgage Bankers Association that have said,
basically, they're seeing a lot more applications coming in. I know in the month of January, they're talking about that 30% more that had come in. In February, they're over 4 to 5% more coming in from February of last year as well. So the buyers are definitely returning because they're feeling a lot more stability with interest rates that finally have leveled off, it seems like, at this point, and reducing their risk. Now, the buyers that are coming in, we are definitely seeing that they are being more picky and more cautious and not just jumping at something because we actually just sold another house, even though the seller was able to get above their asking price, but the buyers were coming in with a whole list of expectations of the seller to fix. And it's not just this one listing, it's been several other listings we've had. The expectation of the buyers are a lot more, I believe, for several different reasons. One is they don't want to take time to make those repairs. And two, life is busy with that. And three, with the cost of repairs and stuff, some of the buyers are feeling like if we got to pay this amount, then they feel like they ought to get something in return on the deal, when in actuality, they bought the house at market value.
Right. So what we're seeing is homes. Haven't seen it in a very long time, but here recently, I'm seeing more homes go off the market and then they pop back on the market,
Mm-hmm.
which means that buyers are saying if they can't come to an agreement, if they do the inspection and there's things wrong with the house and they're not willing to negotiate, they're walking away, and that house is going back on the market. So that's something that's really important to look at is, how these buyers, they're no longer saying, okay, well, we'll just take it in whatever condition it's in. That's something that sellers really, that's different for sellers
Yeah.
over the past 5 years. So this leads us to the most common and costly mistake that we're seeing Flower Mound home sellers make right now, and that's putting their home on the market before they've properly prepared it. So we're seeing this, unfortunately, and these beautiful homes that maybe they just need some extra cleaning, some minor repairs, just some paint maybe, to really make it shine. Put some fresh mulch in the flower beds and some new plants since some of them are dead. We're seeing this right
Mm-hmm.
now, which is why we've created our Get Your House Ready to Sell in 30 Days or Less checklist. It walks you room by room, area by area. It's so simple just to go through and check things off so that you know that your house is ready to go. There's such minor things sometimes. Little things like light bulbs or air filters or things like that, so that people know that your home is clean and ready to go and they don't have to worry about any issues. So if you would like that free download, you can get it at the link below. And if you want to strategize to make sure that this is the right time for you to move, to understand the shifting market, you can get scheduled for a strategy call with us. Just click the link below and we would be more than happy to help walk you through that.